Ever get that feeling like you want to learn something new, but sifting through all the info out there is just, well, overwhelming?
Yeah, definitely. It can be a lot.
Right. So today we're cutting through the noise and going deep on a remote-controlled drift racing truck. We've got the specs right here.
That's fun.
It is, and we'll break down all the features and what they really mean, especially if you're curious about RC and maybe want to get into drifting.
Cool. I'm ready.
All right, so the full name of this thing is a mouthful. It's called the RC Drift Racing Car High-Speed Alloy Metal Auxiliary Wheel 4WD.
Wow, that's a name. But it kind of tells you a lot right off the bat.
It does. Okay, first things first. It's 4WD four-wheel drive. We know that's pretty important for drifting, but for anyone who's not familiar, what's the advantage there?
Well, think about it. With two-wheel drive, you're basically just spinning the rear wheels to get sideways. But with 4WD, you can actually use the power going to the front wheels too to kind of help initiate and control the drift.
So it's not just about raw power, it's about control.
Exactly. It's like way more finesse. You can hold those slides longer and be much more precise with how you throw the car around compared to just spinning out with rear-wheel drive.
Gotcha. So it's 4WD, and then the name also mentions alloy metal in the construction, but then also lists plastic as a material. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so using an aluminum alloy in the construction, it often means they're aiming for a good balance of strength and weight. You want it to be tough for those high speeds and those, inevitable bumps and nudges during a drift.
Makes sense.
But yeah, the plastic parts, those probably come in for flexibility in certain areas, maybe where metal wouldn't be ideal, or for intricate bits that are easier to mold with plastic.
Now there's one part of the name that really caught my eye. Auxiliary wheel. What's that all about on a drift truck?
Interesting. In a lot of RC drift setups, you can actually add what they call auxiliary wheels, sometimes called support wheels or even training wheels. They're basically extra wheels on the sides.
Oh, I see.
And they help keep the drift angle consistent and stop the car from totally spinning out, especially for beginners.
So it's like training wheels for drifting.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about how this thing is powered. It says electric, which is pretty common, but the battery type is just other battery. And it looks like you need AA batteries for the controller, which aren't included. What's the deal with that other battery situation?
Yeah, that other battery thing, it's a bit of a mystery without more details. You probably need to check the product page for specifics.
Right.
But generally with electric power, you get a very smooth, predictable power delivery, which is perfect for controlling those drifts.
Makes sense.
Now, common battery types for this kind of RC vehicle are EMH or LiPo. And the type you choose can affect how long the battery lasts and how punchy the acceleration is.
Now we've got scale 1.10, just so people can picture it. How big is that, roughly?
So think about a regular pickup truck.
Yeah.
A 1.10 scale model would be about 1/10 of that size in every dimension. It's a pretty popular scale because you get decent detail without it being too big to carry around or to find a place to run it.
All right. Next up, the motor. It says brush motor. What's the difference between that and the brushless motors you sometimes hear about?
So brush motors are like the old school kind of motor. They're usually cheaper and simply on the inside,
Okay.
but they can be less efficient compared to those brushless motors. And they have actual brushes in there that wear down over time, meaning you might need to do a bit more maintenance.
I see.
Brushless motors, on the other hand, tend to give you longer run times, more power, and better control over the throttle, which more experienced drifters might really like.
Okay, now this is interesting. It says controller mode, MODE2. Is that the standard setup for these things?
MODE2 is super common, especially in North America. It basically means the left stick on your remote control is going forward and backward, the throttle and brake, while the right stick controls your steering, left and right.
So left stick for speed, right stick for direction. Got it. Now, even though this is a truck, not a plane, it says flight time, about 15 minutes. That's got to be referring to the battery life per charge, right?
Absolutely. 15 minutes is pretty typical for a lot of RC vehicles.
Yeah.
Of course, how aggressively you're driving it, how hard you're pushing those drifts will affect how long the battery actually lasts.
Right. Makes sense. It also says 4 channels for the controller. We've got steering and throttle, so what might those other 2 channels be used for on a drift truck?
Good question. So it doesn't say specifically, but those extra channels could be for things like LED lights, which are a popular way to customize RC vehicles.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Some fancier models might use them for adjustable suspension or other fancy features, but for this truck, lights are probably the most likely thing.
It says remote distance, about 150 m. That seems like a pretty good range. You'd still want to keep it in sight, but it gives you some decent space to play with.
For sure. 150 meters is plenty of room to get some good drifting action going without worrying about losing connection.
Now for the important part, there are age recommendations. It says recommend age 14 plus Y and do not scoot under 6 years old. So this is not really a toy for little kids.
Yeah, those recommendations are there for a reason.
Yeah.
This is a 1.10 scale RC truck, and it's got some power and speed to it. It takes some coordination and understanding of how it works to use it safely.
Right. This is the real deal. It's also listed as ready to go, which is awesome if you don't want to spend ages building it. And it has CE certification, which is a European safety standard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you got it. The CE marking means it meets specific safety standards for things like health, safety, and environmental protection within Europe.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got a 1.10 Nescale four-wheel drive electric RC drift truck with some cool features like auxiliary wheels.
Don't forget the alloy metal for durability.
Right. And while we don't know the exact battery type, we can expect around 15 minutes of runtime and a control range of 150 meters. Sounds like a really solid option for someone either getting into drifting or even at an intermediate level.
Totally agree.
So for anyone listening who's thinking about trying RC drifting, what do you think? What kind of driving experience do you think this truck would offer? And what other questions would you have before taking it out for a spin?
That's a good one.
Definitely something to ponder.
For sure.
All right, that's all the time we have for today.
See you next time.
Catch you later.